Hello everybody, I'm Elwirfy and today I wanted to talk about something that I'm actually surprised I accidentally skipped over. This video was meant to come earlier, but whoops, sorry. So we're going to talk about it now, and it's just kind of this thing that I learned from my dad, and it's this concept where you... Okay, so it's kind of got a backstory to it. So when I was in high school, I often asked my dad a lot, oh, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to work on this schoolwork or whatever? And he'd be like, well, you're more than welcome to not do that. The world could always use more janitors. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he would say, oh, obviously not exactly the way I'm saying it, but he'd say something to the effect of, oh, you need people who to fail, right, in order for society to work and stuff. And I was a bit confused, obviously, even though I was, in high school and learning about societal things and whatnot. But yeah, he explained this concept of like how you can't have everyone being at the top, because like if everyone was successful and if everyone was great, then who would work at McDonald's, right? Who's gonna flip the burger? Who's going to clean the floors as a janitor? Who's going to work in the farms? There's got to be somebody who is doing these jobs, and not everyone gets to have the nicest job or the nicest life in general, and look, some people do, and he explained it, some people do like to work in these kinds of jobs. Some people love to work in construction, they love to, work in, join the army or do one of these lower paying, but like lower skill barrier to entry to get in kind of jobs. And he said, and that's also why there's not very many people at the top echelons of society, because it takes, a lot of work and a lot of perseverance and stuff to be able to be at the higher echelons of what's desirable in a job setting. So, because of that, he always asked me, hey, what kind of job do you want? And I said, oh, because when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be a teacher like you. And, he said, okay, well, then you got to, study hard, and you got to, make sure you get into college so that way you can get a good degree. That way you're even going to have a chance, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to do, you won't be able to get any nice jobs you want. You'll have to be doing manual labor jobs for a long time. And, as someone who's disabled, with one lung, broken back, the usual, I certainly didn't want to do manual labor jobs for the rest of my life, because that would probably just kill me. So I worked really hard, and I always held on to this life lesson, and I don't even know if he meant for me to hang on to it, but I do, just because, I don't know, I've always, ever since then, I've had this fear of, that I'm going to somehow fall below what I want, and I think everyone kind of has this fear as well, like when you work hard and you want something, but then maybe you don't quite accomplish it. Like, I'm not a teacher right now. I haven't achieved my goals. I don't even know if I ever will be a teacher at this point, with the way the pandemic's going and my disability, plus being, kids having COVID and stuff. It's going to be a while, probably, if I ever get to be a teacher. But, I don't think I've failed, right? I'm not working a manual labor job anymore, and for YouTubers, we can kind of apply the same lesson, right? And not every YouTuber gets to be successful. You need to have viewers, right? Just like on Twitch. You're only going to have so many people on Twitch at the top being able to get the viewers, and then you need people to be viewers. You look at how many YouTube videos are uploaded a day. You look at how many Twitch streams are live, concurrently and whatnot. And I think that you'll notice that the majority, the vast majority, just don't have views. All right, nobody's watching it's incredible how we think we're exposed to so many YouTube videos or so many Twitch streams, but realistically we're not. We're probably only very likely seeing a very small portion of videos. If I even go and I look at my feed for YouTube videos that are recommended to me, most of them have 1 million plus views on it. And I always think to myself, how the heck do these videos get so many views and get recommended to me when they already have so many views? It's incredible, right? So, someone like me, smaller channels, we're all fighting essentially to kind of push other people out of the way in order to get seen, in order to get recognized, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be the lower position. No one wants to be the viewer anymore, because we've created a society where, in the world of wanting to make performative content, it's now looked on as being bad or horrible social standing or something if you're not able to be a good performer. That's why, and it was a weird transition. My wife showed me this video of this guy, Adam McIntyre, and he was making a video about VidCon and how VidCon has transformed away from YouTube and become more TikTok focused. And he was talking about the concept that you pay like a ton of money to get in as like a viewer, I guess we'll call you're an audience member, but viewer, same thing, to view people having talks. And he talked about how the YouTube section of VidCon was actually really, well packed, and people liked it and watched this cool big Minecraft talk. And I was like, hey, that's cool. But he pointed out that a lot of the things to quote unquote do at VidCon was essentially just go to shop, stores and just buy things, right? And obviously I don't have the privilege of being able to go to VidCon, but I'm actually really glad I didn't, because that would have been a lot of money that I would have had to waste, essentially. So I don't know. I guess I don't want the experience for my viewers to think that they're not valued, but people should hopefully understand the fact that by me making videos and someone else not making videos, like, it's kind of like a race, right? Everyone's trying to put out as much content as they can in order to get as many views as they can in order to rise above their competitors, right? I know people like to say, oh, YouTube's not a competition, everyone can do whatever they want. That's true, but it's not a competition if you don't care about it, because you need to understand that whatever form of media you're in, whether it is YouTube, Twitch, or now TikTok too, I guess, it's all about being at the very top, right? Because if the people at the very top make money, everyone else doesn't, right? They don't benefit. Now, YouTube's great because, the barrier to entry is supposedly much lower. I don't find this to be true, but it is supposedly lower than other places. Like, most big TikTokers don't get money, which is weird because they'll get far more followers and views and all that than any YouTube video for the most part. Shoot, I mean, there's the highest subscribed YouTuber, PewDiePie, or maybe it's T-Series now, I've lost track, is actually far below the highest followed TikToker, which is just insane, right? It's crazy how media has changed over time. And you know what? My dad's lesson still holds up, right? There's a lot more people, who are viewing TikTok than are making TikTok videos, and even the ones who are making TikTok videos, most of them aren't getting as many views as the bigger echelon people, and the bigger echelon people are getting recommended more, especially with the For You page, which allows you to only see things that you've already enjoyed, which ultimately creates a cycle of boosting up the people who are already higher. Whereas on YouTube tries its best to recommend people things based on their subscription and notification bell status, but YouTube's also constantly trying to use its recommended system to try and give you what you want based on what you're watching. So TikTok, I don't know what their algorithm is. I don't think it works that way. Or if it does, it's a very primitive version of YouTube's. So that's something to consider as well. As a final point, I just think that YouTube in general is at a place now where you really do need to know someone or collaborate with someone or gain, just work with teamwork to try and build up your audience in a collaborative setting. Like, it's really hard to make it on your own, especially if you're starting out. And I imagine if you're a small YouTuber and you're watching this, you're thinking, okay, well, where the heck do I start? Well, I don't know. I just made a video that focused on a popular topic, or at least seemed like a popular thing to talk about, and it got me more views, so maybe try that right now. There's really no one way to go or the other to try and build up that audience. You just kind of, again, ironically, got to make what you want and hope it works, right? There's no set in stone way to do this. Change your thumbnails, change the length of your content, change the type of content. Just do what makes you happy, like I always like to say. But I have noticed it, though, right? You're gonna, in any space where popularity is a thing, you're always gonna have people at the higher rings of society and the lower rings of society kind of competing for those slots, essentially, to be able to be successful on the platform. So it's kind of up to you guys who you want to support, who you want to watch. Obviously, if you guys have subscribed to this channel, super big thank you. You guys really do help out a ton. Obviously, if you want to be notified correctly, you can hit the notification bell. Otherwise, just liking and commenting on the video really does help. I really do love your feedback, even if it's a negative comment. Anything that you say or do really does help. And I really appreciate you guys for just sticking to the end of the video and watching the whole thing. as always, guys, I'm Elwirfy, and I will definitely be seeing you guys next time. Take care, everyone.